This is Cust Corner!
Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner,
I think we could come up with a better title still.
I think we're like 14 episodes into this now, and people seem to be pretty sold on Cust Corner.
Wasn't this voted on?
Yeah, it was. Right. But Tim lost, although he says he won because he got more than 2% of the vote, which is, when you're Tim, that really goes a long way.
See, I thought Tim had said the 5% was what he had deemed victories in 2018.
It depends on how poorly he does in the poll, of how much he needs to really declare it a win. Whatever he ends up at, he declares it a win.
Yep, I get it.
As long as it gets to double digits as a rule, I mean, I have won. But, yeah, sometimes I win outright. Like with the time I put up the 3 different types of chicken nuggets, or wings that are in my one.
No, it didn't. We made you take that down, so you put up one or the other, and then you didn't win.
Yeah, but that's because you were trying to cook the books.
But you didn't win, so you're just a fucking liar.
I'm not a liar.
You are a liar. You just said you won, you didn't win, but you're claiming victory anyway. That doesn't even make any sense.
It does.
All right, well, here's how it works. I'm here. Geoff Fienberg is here. We're going to go through. You're texting already.
I'm trying to subtweet our golf show tweet.
Okay, well, you can do that after. We're doing Cust Corner here. Do you know who we have on the line today to break this all down?
The legend?
Tim Andercust!
Tim Andercust.
Not my name.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely your name. All right, so what do you got for us? We're back. We've retired the chain restaurant talk. You power ranked those on the last Cust Corner. We've had enough of that garbage. What do you got for us today?
Okay, so I have a mostly summer-centric list of things, and I'll go through them, and then we can pick them as you want.
Okay.
One is about full-service gas stations, my all-you-can-eat buffet strategy, summertime in general, my criticisms of World Cup, and a definitive ranking of the best things to barbecue.
Well, you can't barbecue, so that's going to be that. Geoff, do you want to start with his all-you-can-eat buffet strategy? That really piqued your interest.
That did pique my interest, but I'm very curious what summertime in general means.
All right, let's start
That's
there.
Incredibly
Okay, we'll start
vague.
with summertime in general. Tim, the floor is yours.
Summertime is a trash season, and it's for trash people to enjoy. It's clearly the worst season. It is way too hot, way too humid, and all the bugs and gross things come out. It's oppressive. It's significantly harder to cool down than it is to heat up.
Yeah, well, hold on a second. You told me that the best way to cool down on a hot summer's day is by having a menthol cigarette.
Well, that or just I put a shot of Jaeger in my beer. That will also cool me down. But yes, menthol. Well, but those are because the government has banned those in this country. I can't consume menthol. So it's a terrible season. You're hot. No one likes being hot and sweaty. What are you going to do? You're going to go swimming in gross water? Well, unless you live on a lake, which I am lucky enough to do, but most people can't. So, like, we can swim in some, like, public pool. Like, that's gross. Or, like, one of those mist machines. Like, that's neat for about 6 seconds. Like I said, all the gross animals and bugs, they come out of the woodwork. People want to eat dinner outside, like at restaurants. I hate that. I hate being outdoors, like that al fresco living. Like, human beings invented buildings so we could stay inside them and avoid having to eat outside like cavemen. So I hate that whole thing, or the whole patio lifestyle of people wanting to have drinks outside. No, let's go inside like civilized people. I despise it. It's hot, you're sweaty, it's humid. And there's nothing on TV. Like, once the World Cup's over, that's it. It's just baseball till football season. Like, there's terrible television. All the good network TV shows are on break. So there's nothing for me to watch in the evenings because I can only store up so many good shows. So, I mean, listen, fall is the best season. Then winter is the next best season. Then spring, then a massive gap, and summer is DFL. I feel very strongly about this.
Okay, so there's a couple of nitpicks there. One, I'm actually with him on eating outdoors. I hate eating outdoors. I like drinking outdoors.
Yeah.
But you don't have to leave. What is forcing you outside your house? Because in the summertime, because people were complaining about this yesterday. When I was out, I was in downtown Toronto. It was like 39 degrees Celsius, which is like 103 Fahrenheit or something. It's a hot day.
For here,
For
it's
here,
hot.
it's very,
I don't
very hot.
experience that.
And people are like, "Oh, it's so hot, I can't do anything." No one says you have to go outdoors just because it's super hot out. You stay inside with your air conditioning; it's way better. And then it's not super freezing outside, which is nice. And Tim, the last time you had some sort of outrageous comment, it was that you're pro putting orange juice in your Cheerios, and it's better than milk because it was too cold to go outside.
Oreos.
Oh, Oreos.
Dipping,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Although
you're
I have
making.
done that too, but that is not what I was claiming.
That's an insanely egregious take. But honestly, to that to his first point.
And you two are bigger sweaters than I am.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I kind of like Tim. We have that polar bear look. The summer cannot be a friend. I don't have the gall to rank summer 4th best season, though. For me, it would actually be 3rd. Because I just love spring and fall temperatures. They're so much more moderate, especially where we live. Yeah, but there's no way it's worse than a Canadian winter. I don't care.
Give me summer every day of the week. Just crank up the heat.
No.
Do it as hot as it can go.
Wow.
I am doing fine.
No, we're on a different page.
I'm going to get
there.
a sick tan on the go. I'll have to be outside all the
I do
time.
not-
I love a super, super hot weather run. You get the sweat coming down. It's a great way to work out. It's tough.
I'll say this, when it's so hot, you go outside for a minute and you get that honey glaze on your forehead and you start to sweat, it makes that first blast of air conditioning that much cooler.
I agree. It's like getting out of the shower.
Yeah, that's a fun day. But yeah, meals on patios, I don't care. But like, what sort of space alien doesn't enjoy drinking on a patio?
I know. Tim.
I would rather drink indoors, where no flies can fly into my drinks, or you don't get forgotten about because you're outside and away from the kitchen staff.
I think the people indoors get forgotten about in patio season.
They do.
I don't want
Yeah.
people walking down the street going about their business, watching me consume whatever beverage I'm having.
You
I
are
don't like
so
that.
strange.
This doesn't sound like a man of the people at all. First of all, he's telling us the only time you can ever go outside during the summer is if you live on a lake. And just for clarification, I live on a lake. I'm Fancy Tim. I don't want to go to a public pool. Like, what's wrong with you?
Public pools are gross.
The public can't see what I'm drinking.
Yeah, what sort of like special IPA are you drinking? That like some
yeah,
guy
well,
walking down the street can't observe you taking a sip.
If I was drinking a local IPA, I would be ashamed. It wouldn't want to be seen because I would have turned to the dark side. IPAs are trash beer.
What about Keith's India Pale Ale?
Yeah, but even though it's called that, it is not an IPA.
But it is an IPA.
It's called that, but it has none of the like hoppy characteristics.
We've
of,
also
like, IPAs.
got a major raccoon problem in the city that sort of infests itself
That's all right. I
in
just
the
flick
summer.
cigs at the raccoons. They go away.
I
Those
don't
things
know.
are vicious.
And they're vicious.
Some of Tim's points were okay, but for the most part is no.
Well, like television's a big part of it for me.
That
too.
had me laughing. Okay, do you know why? Because the normal people are away and they're doing things outside, so the networks aren't going to put their big money programs where they pay their cast the big money dollars, and the numbers show that the big money advertisers do not care.
Well,
And I get, like, from a sports standpoint,
But-
it's down season, but there's a couple summer shows. I could give you one right now. Shooter with Ryan Felipe just
Ryan Felipe.
just came back on, and I enjoy that
He
one.
no longer goes by Philippi. He's
Philip- oh, sorry.
Felipe.
So maybe I got that
but
wrong.
This is actually a strategy that's changed over the years too. Like back 15 years ago, when Tim is likely still consuming TV, he hasn't caught up to what's going on now. That it was more, you start in September, that's when your season starts, you get a 28 episode run, it goes through like the beginning of May, and that's it, summer's up. But like between
Yeah, you do
Hulu,
February
between,
sweep,
shut
you have
up,
your-
shut up, between Hulu, between Netflix, between these HBO shows, a lot of shows actually drop during the summer now.
Not only that, they're based on his taste and everything else. I am confident there are probably some fantastic shows he hasn't watched that he could be watching in the summer.
Tim's only watching like the Deja Vu channel, and he's watching like reruns of
Was that Who's the Boss?
Yeah, Who's
And
the Boss,
Cheers?
Golden Girls. Tim
Green
gets
Acres.
Green Acres. Tim gets up to date on his like I've fallen and I can't get up stuff. A lot of commercials for that.
Tim, do you still have a VHS installed at your house?
No, I do not.
Do you have a DVD player installed at your house?
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just as retro at this point.
Uh,
Who's
would
using
be
it? Who's using
just
a
as
DVD?
retro, no.
but it's not nearly as retro, and it could just still be there from your home entertainment
When's the
center.
last time you used a DVD, Jeff? watch a movie on DVD 5 years ago. Computers don't even come with a disk drive anymore.
I don't know,
CD.
sometimes-
That really bothered me.
Why does it bother you? There's no need to have them.
But I had all kinds of like music on CDs that I would slide into my computer to like get onto my iTunes.
Also,
I can't
like
do that.
the concept of like a Chromecast would be so foreign to Tim, right?
But it's
I don't
Chromecast
even know
is
what
so
that means.
great.
What is a Chromecast?
When you come over to my house and like when I'm on my computer and I just project something onto my screen,
Yes.
that's Chromecast. So the volume plays through the TV, everything goes through the TV, and I can still use my computer.
It's actually a great thing. We got one because we don't have not every place we want to watch TV is got a smart TV, and it makes it perfect.
Sure, it basically smarts up your TV.
Yeah.
It tells the TV to give its head a shake, and then boom, you can just mirror whatever you got going. But like Roku has the same feature, Apple TV has the same feature. Basically, if you've bought a TV within the past, 3 years, it has all these features built into it anyway.
I thought summer time in general lived up to its billing.
I just don't get who doesn't like patio. You're just antisocial.
No, I'm not antisocial. I'm happy to be around people and amongst people in air conditioning, indoors where it's comfortable, not out in the sun where bugs and animals can get into my food or my drinks and people are gawking.
Were you like
as they
eating
walk
in the
by.
forest?
Yeah, Tim doesn't go
No,
into
but-
the forest, okay? He only goes into his lake.
All right.
I'm right.
I get full meals outside. I don't like that. I prefer to be indoors for that. But if I'm having like nachos or I'm having wings or like appetizers for the table, if I'm drinking beer, I want to be outside.
Yep.
And that's the whole point of the patio. And you can smoke out there.
I don't even like it when they open the windows.
I would think his drinking on the patio, like, let's just hypothetical on a poll. I'd poll what, 2%?
People who don't like drinking on a patio. Yeah, but some
Yeah.
people just vote for Tim because they feel bad for him and they know what ludicrous side he's on at all times.
What do you mean? But like the what is better, Oreos in orange juice or milk thing was one of those?
I would say that you like 4% of whatever side that you're on is inflated towards you because people feel bad for you.
Or they realize I'm their tribune and they don't care what the position is, they're going to back me.
No, you're telling people not to go outside. You're living the fanciest lifestyle of everyone. You're no man of the people.
I am the man of the people.
You're not!
We're going to get into that with the next category about full-service gas stations.
Well, that's not going to be the next category. The next category is going to be your all-you-can-eat buffet strategy. Please enlighten us.
So I feel very, very strongly that if you're going to go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, you have to beat the house. You have to eat more
This is so...
than you pay. The value of the food you eat must be greater than the amount of money you pay for the buffet.
Why?
Which means because then you would. What was the point? You're there to beat them. You're there to get more of your
You're
money.
there for dinner. You're there
I
for
am
dinner.
there
How
for-
many times do you go out for dinner and like like this is a nice place, but you like the food and you're happy to spend like if you actually did the math on what it might have cost the house to feed you.
Whether you're eating at McDonald's, the fanciest restaurant on earth, and all-you-can-eat buffet, it's minus EV on bang for your buck. It really is.
No, but see, it doesn't have to be at the all-you-can-eat buffet. You can actually get a lot of bang for your buck.
Who
If
wants to
you're-
be gorged and who just
It-
eat what you want? Like,
Especially in the summertime when it's hot out. Also, I'm not here trying to go to all-you-can-eat buffets, Tim, to try to get heart disease.
Well, I don't go to all-you-can-eat buffets very often either. But when one goes, the purpose is to get your money's worth, whether it is a pizza buffet or one of those KFC all-you-can-eat buffets or Chinese or a breakfast buffet or like one of the ones in Vegas, which are amazing. Wherever you're going and you're going to an all-you-can-eat buffet, the objective is to eat. I personally feel like a failure if I don't eat more than the value of the food than the value I paid for it. If I'm filling up in the Chinese buffet on wontons and on soup and water or pop, I have made a terrible mistake. You go for the expensive stuff.
What's the expensive stuff at a Chinese? I mean, the most expensive stuff you can get basically at any Chinese place is duck. And the way that they cook duck is not high end, unless you're at a really high end Chinese place. It's not like buffet style ducks. That's probably not even on the menu. So basically, you're just eating like their leftovers. Like when they bring the plates back, as I've seen Chinese food places do in the past. Let's scrape the stuff back into the thing.
Don't even. I am not big on those like Chinese buffets. A Vegas buffet I like, and
Okay, what's the best type of buffet? Because he's talking about like a KFC buffet,
I know,
which I don't think exists.
And also there's,
None.
I mean,
Where's a KFC
I haven't
buffet?
had one in ages.
Bangor, Maine. I went to it on multiple occasions.
How bad would you feel about yourself after a KFC buffet? Just not even about yourself, like how devastating it would be being like, I just ate 38 pieces of chicken. But like, how awful would you just feel?
Yeah.
Like walking out of there. Could you even walk out of there? Like, is it like a hospital where they bring you a wheelchair and wheel you out to your car?
I'll say this. I am beyond could go for a Hut buffet. The Pizza Hut buffet.
Are you big on like the party pizza, like the dessert pizza at the Pizza Hut
that's
buffet?
part of the enjoyment. I haven't been to one in ages. Vegas buffets, they're amazing. I can never pull my weight. For buffets, I just like and I'm not talking about like pizza places, like actual buffets. I'm not trying to, I don't go there trying to eat my weight. Like, I just like the variety of like, I can get all this stuff on my plate. I'm not trying to beat them. I get like you have that feeling like you didn't do enough. Like, oh, I really like, but
Yeah, but sneaky thing, like all you can eat buffets aren't expensive.
yeah, the ones in Vegas can
They can
be.
be. They can be what, run you $30.
But you're right, like a Chinese.
You play enough
buffet-
blackjack, it's free.
I don't really have much
Looking up for a
interest
meal, thank you very much.
I don't really have much interest in in like a dungeon Chinese buffet. I could name establishments, but I don't want to go for it.
I don't mind. Like Tim's even talking about, like in Vegas, I shamed Leone one time in basically an eating contest. That's really what it's for. All you can eat buffets. Can you eat more than the other person? Then you put money on it. Like that's really about it. Because it's not enjoyable to eat until you can't walk anymore. Like smaller Tim, you need to buy smaller plates. And that way you can cut down on your portion
But
size.
here's the thing.
And then you won't be able to eat as much.
But this guy, based on what he's told us about himself, he's just going. Like, it's okay to not be able to walk after if you're just spending the entire weekend at home.
At home in front of the air conditioner.
Like, if it's Friday.
Can't leave the house.
Yeah, so I guess, like, why not? But who wants to be on said vacation and then feel, instead of, like, yummy and satisfied, feel, like, obtusely gorged?
Yeah,
Well, you don't go to an all-you-can-eat buffet if you're intending to eat a lot. There's nothing.
I would give you that part of it.
Sure.
I mean,
Nothing frustrating where you go with someone to an all-you-can-eat buffet and they have like one plate. Like you just want to scream and walk out the door. It's like, why are you here? What are you doing?
because they want to be with their friends and they're willing to
Yeah.
lose the $6.50 in value that you are making up for.
No, see, I would tell people I'm not coming. If I wasn't hungry, could only eat a plate, I would say I'm sorry. I'll see you later on after dinner. I'm not going.
I'll give Tim this. If you're doing the all-day buffet, and the buffets that I bashed moments ago, I've been to more recently than others, even though it's been forever, that's part of the day. Like, if you're going to the said buffet for dinner, like, I'm trying to build, like, leave the tank empty. Because
Precisely.
you want to take, advantage, and you like what they got.
The only, all you can eat anything is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah,
as it begins with. But
Except in Vegas, because it is much better
oh
quality.
yeah, you get like the nice
Carving station
Yeah,
buffet.
yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
nice.
Yeah.
It's like an all you can eat kind of like buffet style, like wedding type thing.
Yeah.
Like when you're at that, it's like, oh, here we go.
But like, who wants to? And I would.
All you can eat ribs is something I can get behind if the rib place is good enough.
Yeah, of course.
I can get way behind that.
For sure.
I love that a lot.
Sure.
But that's really the only I think about how logy you feel after Chinese food in general. Just having like a normal sized plate of Chinese food, which is never normal because it's always way too much. But you're just like, I can't drink and eat Chinese food.
For years, before I was in your vortex, or even our friend Cam was in each other's vortex, I used to work with Cam at a different place.
Cam
years
seems
ago.
like he'd be big on all you can eat buffets.
Oh, of course. But I would forbid Cam to go to like those
Manchu Wok,
Panda Express type places for lunch, because he would be finished, and then 40 minutes later, Geoff, I'm really gonna need you on the mic today. I'm really good, because he is just beaten down, and he'll go to those Panda Express type places, Manchu Walks, and he will milk the lady with the tongue, what do you call it? The tongue.
The ladle?
The ladle till no end. Like, keep giving her, like, greasing one more chicken ball out of her. Like, he is so funny just to watch do that. But it's got to be after the show, because if he eats that before the show, there is no show.
Well, Tim, this is setting up really well. It seems like you and Cam can go on the road and exploit all-you-can-eat buffets. Maybe we can get like a Canadian TV grant out of it. I'll put that on the air.
I'm into this.
I would watch that show.
I would.
I think Cam would win. I will have to say. I think he's more experienced in the dark arts than I am of beating the habit.
But I think Cam can just eat so much.
Now I see you say that, because I had this bet with Cam. We never ended up doing it. A chicken wing eating contest. Who would win between Cam and I? And I was
You think you'd beat him?
I was adamant that I would just destroy him in a chicken wing eating contest.
I just think he would just go, like, you might just say,
Cam's
I don't
like a
feel
-2
well,
No.
and he would just keep going.
But I can eat like a professional eat. I can eat large amounts of food, and I can eat like a professional eater eats. Cam might outlast me if it was like a 4-hour competition. But if we're gonna eat, who can eat the most chicken wings in 20 minutes?
Okay. I get
got
that.
him, no
sure.
problem.
This may be sad, but one of my life goals has always been to go to one of those restaurants where it's like, eat this massive thing and it's free.
I did that once. I don't even want to talk about it, though.
No, please
What was
talk
it?
about it.
No.
Wait, what was it? You can't bring it out. You can't say you've
My
done it. and
name's
not bring
on
it.
the wall.
Oh, did you get a free steak
sick.
out of it?
I don't know if I got
That would
a
be
free
Tim's
steak.
crowning achievement in life, getting his name on the wall for finishing a 40-ounce steak. What was the
What was
food?
it, Jeff?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
It's probably bigger than 40 ounces.
Yeah,
40
it
ounces
was
you can
at Shula's in Tampa. I was there with one of my friends growing up very well. His parents got divorced, incredibly well to do. And the dad, liked me a lot and would go on, March break or Christmas vacations and, didn't want his son being alone. So he would like bring me on the trip. So 2 or 3 times I went to J Spring training with my friend and his dad. And once my dad came along because they were buddies, but I would just, they'd just front and pay. And we were there and it was this thing and he like kind of talked me into doing it. And I think, things on the wall, but they come and inspect it and like clear whether you accomplish the task. Cause I'm sure people like come around.
Tim would be trying to cheat it because he wouldn't be able to do it.
I'm not proud of it. And I went to we went to a Tampa Bay Lightning game the next day and I must have spent like a period and a half.
Just puking in the bathroom.
not in a good spot.
Tim will not be satisfied. His all-you-can-eat buffet strategy is basically like Homer at the Fisherman's Fry, where he's just going to be a sideshow who eats too much.
No, Mr. Simpson, please don't take the steam tray.
That's going to be you.
No, I don't go to these things very often, but I'm just saying, this came up in a conversation I had about a month ago with somebody on Twitter. I was like, if you go, you have to beat the house. This is a game. This is a battle. It is you versus them. It is man versus nature. And either they win or you win. And I'm a winner, so I like to win.
I mean, just based off this conversation, it does not sound like you're a winner whatsoever.
Well, that's a very subjective thing for you to be saying.
Listen, it's my show. It is the Pat Mayo experience, and I feel like this behavior you're engaging in through 2 topics of Cust Corner incredibly low, sir. For someone who lives on a lake and won't use a public pool, yeah, you're living you're living a real bottom of the barrel lifestyle here.
Oh, you like public pools, do you? You like swimming around in water that other people have probably urinated in, or God knows what.
/ I've urinated in. Who cares?
I'm
That is monstrous.
I'm not gonna hate on the not liking public.
Yeah, when Tim's not looking, I'll take a piss on him, see how he likes it. Nothing. Sterile. Cares. Just a bit of water. Never hurt you.
God.
Tim just doesn't like the people. Doesn't want to be around the people. When you have kids, Tim, you're going to make sure that they're not just wrapped in a bubble the entire time. You got to get some dirt underneath their nails. Make sure that they're not sick, especially because Tim's an anti-vaxxer. So,
I am not an anti-vaxxer. That is an absolute smear.
I was watching Southern Charm the other day, and one of the guys doesn't believe in vaccinations anymore because he read an article on the internet that someone got a vaccination that could only walk backwards after. Sounds like real news. Not gonna lie to you.
It would have been good for our friends in Bonnaroo who kept taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back.
That's true. Instead of just turning them around, he could have just been going the right direction. All right, what do you got next? What's the next thing you want to talk about?
Full service gas stations. Why are they gone? I want them back. Now,
This is just the epitome of laziness.
Now, I know most modern hipster millennials either drive their Teslas or take ride shares.
Yeah, you are right. If there's one thing that describes millennials in general, it's how often they're riding around in their Teslas.
Yeah, well, they're always, every millennial, it seems like I follow on Twitter, is always tweeting about Tesla and hyping it up and their electric Like,
I would put it this way: I would love to own a Tesla. Problem is, they're like 150 grand.
Why he's being ridiculously selective in like the 3 tweets he's seen from people.
Yeah, he's like the anti-vaxxer guy who read something about it, so that's what it's got to be.
No, vaccinate your children, people, please.
Yes, please do that. But like most of these people are either driving around in that, or they're in a rideshare app, or they're riding around on bikes because that's what they want. They want to be
bike
seen.
share.
But yeah, there is a bike share you can buy it. There's a lot of those bike share places around the city now, and most of the time most of the time biking in downtown Toronto is faster than driving anywhere in downtown Toronto. That's why people bike.
That isn't that. Yeah, no, that's not the reason they bike. They bike.
I mean, how do you know? How do you know, Tim? You don't live here. You don't know these people. I live here. I know these people. I asked him, why do you ride a bike to work? He's like, it takes me 15 minutes to ride a bike. It takes me 45 minutes by transit.
Sorry, but
it takes me an hour by car.
Hide someone's bike at Fantasy?
Yeah. I did. Listen, I don't ride a bike. I don't particularly like it, but that's not the reason that Tim is giving of why people bike is not true.
Also, I find it very strange that he's like okay with beating the house. He's got to beat the house at the restaurant.
Yeah,
but
he's okay. Buffet.
But he's okay like getting the imperial oil companies to get the best of them by handing them more money. That on the most simple task. And it is of everything he said. There might not be anything that's less of the people than unable to fill your own gas or being hoity-toity about needing somebody to fill your own gas.
Imagine being a person who couldn't pump their own gas. Like, how useless at life are you?
Didn't that happen in a state
I believe it's like Oregon has.
Where now it's mandatory, first time.
It's ridiculous.
Oregon and New Jersey were both mandatory full serve, and they got rid of it in New Jersey.
Good.
Mandatory full.
Yeah, I think there were union reasons for why that was written in to protect the jobs of the people that had it. But my point is, unlike most of these modern millennials, I drive a real car and go real places, and as such.
Oh, 1 second. I would like a rank of the top 5 real places that you go to, please.
People's houses.
So people's houses. The mall. Okay. There's 2.
Those are 2 places no other people go.
Tim Hortons. Okay, next.
Individual experiences. All those places.
Next. What are 4 and 5 on this list?
Golf courses.
Okay. Golf courses.
I go to see family members.
So that's not personal house. So you don't even go more than 4 places.
That's not true. Or the gym.
The gym. Is that before or after the all-you-can-eat buffet?
You imagine going after.
So you always go before you go to the all-you-can-eat buffet.
Don't go to the all-you-can-eat buffet very often.
So you don't go anywhere by this list.
I go places, I drive, and I don't, particularly in the summer when it's really, really hot, I don't there should be some choice, is all I'm saying. There should be, as there always used to be, one dedicated lane for people who would rather spend a little extra and have their gas pumped for them as a service.
What are you, a fucking invalid?
Then there should be, of course, more availability for self-serve. That's fine, but there should be one lane for people who maybe they're wearing something nice. There are times where I've been wearing a suit or in nice clothes, and I have to go purchase gasoline, and I am petrified about a little bit of gas spilling out of the end when I'm done on my pant leg or on my shoe. Plus, your hands you get that gasoline smell on you. And
okay, stop right there. Who doesn't love a good sniff of gasoline? You get a little bit of gas on your hands. You get a quick I'm not talking about huffing gas, but the nice little intoxication of a quick sniff of gasoline. That's great. And how bad are you at pumping gas? You're getting fucking gas. What are you at Zoolander having gasoline fights?
No, but when you're done, you take the nozzle out of the hole.
That has never, Geoff. Has that ever happened to you?
A little bit will drip out.
I've never gotten it on me, but I know some has dripping out, but I've never gotten it on myself.
Neither have I. Paul, have you?
Maybe a drop, but I'm not a loser.
Yeah, Paul just said he may have gotten a drop on himself before, but he's also not a loser, so this is not a concern for him.
Yeah, well, that's nice. Again, that's a very non-elitist thing for Paul to say.
The
Listen,
most elitist person in this argument is the guy demanding someone else pump his gas.
you pay a premium for it. That's their job. I should have choice, as I always.
I
used to
cannot
have. I don't know
believe
how it
that
happened.
you. I know it's two different things, but I'm so baffled at your willingness, your like stinginess to not, God forbid, like the buffet beats you by a quarter.
But I'll pay an extra
I'm willing,
2 cents per gallon.
But I want to
for someone to.
Yeah, like I just don't under like God, like why can't you go to the buffet and lose a toonie?
Yeah, he's very upset when he goes to the golf course that you can only get a power cart to drive around, that someone doesn't just carry your clubs for you.
That's not the same thing.
It's basically the same
Self-service
thing.
Self-service gasoline used to be incredibly popular until like 10 years ago, when for some reason everything flipped and like they went away from everywhere. And
I will agree.
Okay, 1 second. You say 10 years ago? I've been driving.
Like
I've been
10 years
driving now since. When did I turn 16? I turned 16 in 2000. So since 2000, like half the places only had full serve anyway, and it was down to like full self-serve gas has been the predominant way to get gas for probably 25 years, maybe more. Since before I was driving, at least. So this past decade thing. I don't know where the fuck you're living.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm thinking longer than a decade. Because 2008 is actually 10 years ago.
I remember as a
Yeah,
kid.
so you just have no conception of time.
I remember as like a kid, a lot of the local places, and my parents like
Yeah.
yeah.
Some of them
And you know,
had
that
it,
was nice.
but most people still use self-serve.
And that's fine. But it's not, I never said there was a preponderance of full service.
The one I
They've
do
gotten rid of full service, and that I have a problem with.
in one of the more well-to-do neighborhoods, I still see a couple of them.
Sure, I can see that because it's a very fancy elitist thing to
And
do.
like the
Tim wants it to
woman,
be.
yeah, like that, husband's making the money, is on Bay Street, and the woman, God
But
forbid,
even
is
so,
getting
like I feel like it's such a shot at your manhood to get someone else to pump your fucking gas.
I agree. I'm with you. I would almost be embarrassed. Like
I
I would
would.
almost be like awkward. Like really, this guy, like this. I need this guy to do
Let's
that.
put it this way: my grandma wouldn't let someone pump her gas for her. Now,
But is that like a manly thing, or she? I'm not like calling your grandma cheap. Like some people like got. Like
No,
I'm not
no.
paying someone
no,
$4
it's because
to
she
do
can
it.
do it, so
Yeah.
she does it. Like, why would you pay extra for something that's simple to do and would be embarrassing not to do, unless you physically cannot do it?
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Okay, so I have my list of things to barbecue, or I can talk about the World Cup.
No, well, the World Cup's probably going to be over soon. We want to make this as evergreen as possible. Last thing for you, because Jeff's got to get out of here to beat the traffic because he didn't ride his bike today. Give me the top.
Well, he can drive his Tesla home.
Actually, the Tesla would probably drive him home,
It probably would.
which sounds fantastic. But all right, a list of things to barbecue. Now,
So this occurred to me.
can you please preface this by saying that you can't barbecue anything?
I can barbecue. I just have trouble starting the grill. But once it's going, I can grill, and someone can turn it off for me. But once it's going, I can barbecue.
Tim also, I just when people are bad at cooking, how they cook everything on max heat to get it. Like, the best way to cook something is at like a normal heat so it can cook all the way through and you get a good balance. Tim, max at all times.
No color, no flavor. The higher the heat, the more it sears in the flavor. That's
So Tim's
science.
bad at barbecuing, so you have to take this into consideration for his list of best things to barbecue. Please, hit us with your list.
Yeah, so I saw on Twitter, people were like advertising things to barbecue this summer, and one was carrot dogs, and another was those portobello mushrooms, and I thought, this is precisely what's wrong with the world.
Okay, hold on. Before we get into this, now, do you understand how online advertising algorithms work?
No.
You don't. So here's, Jeff, do you understand how they work? Do you notice that, like, you're not a Facebook guy, but even on Twitter or even Instagram, what will pop up for you more than likely? If you're on Twitter, do you get a lot of, like, if there's ever a sponsored tweet, it's usually something that's local, potentially where you've been, or something that you click on or talk about a lot. So, like, golf stuff will pop up a lot for
Fantasy.
you. So for Tim, on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever, he gets so triggered by these like vegan articles that come out that he clicks on so he can be even more triggered. They now populate his feed because it seems like that's all he's clicking on. And Tim, that's why it all starts popping up on your end. So you are indeed the catalyst that is put into motion you seeing all this stuff. Because it's not as prevalent as you would like to think it is. It's just the online algorithm of every social media site that you use because you get triggered all the time. This is what comes up for you.
But it should know that I hate these things. And
But
don't
you're
want to see.
but you're always clicking on it.
Well, because it's so ridiculous. You imagine putting a carrot in a hot dog bun and grilling it and calling it a hot dog and claiming it tastes as good as a hot dog, or eating a portobello mushroom hamburger and saying, "Oh, it tastes just as good." Like,
Do you know where this stuff never pops up? My feed.
I've never seen this stuff.
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
And I don't think our listeners have either. And the fact that you literally fall down your own rabbit hole to then get triggered by this stuff that no one else on the planet is experiencing, like me, a guy who loves meat. Like, I don't fall in the places where I can see this, and you keep keep digging up. To steal another.
Yeah, dig up, stupid. It's a lot like the Trump stuff. People are like, well, Trump can't win. I don't know anyone who's voting for Trump. That's the Tim of vegan living. Except everyone's eating vegan according to Tim.
See, the other things are actually worth debating. This almost isn't worth debating because it's baseless.
It is.
If that makes any sense.
Because he's bringing up examples that aren't actual examples.
Exactly.
This is the point of departure for why I'm making a list of things to barbecue, because I thought if this is what people are barbecuing, they don't know what they're doing, and they need a...
No one's barbecuing that! Other than like the sick people that read Gwyneth Paltrow's blog are barbecuing that.
Gwyneth Paltrow has a blog?
I don't know, she's in this stupid lifestyle shit that you would never get into.
Yeah, you gotta get on the goop.
Stupid goop and homemade freaking lipsticks and shit like that.
But the whole thing is, so Tim's now being triggered by stuff that he is propagating towards himself, and then creating a list about actual things to barbecue, despite the fact that he can't start a barbecue.
This is all true.
Well, it can be tough, okay?
No, it isn't.
Well, it's okay when your ignition button works, but when that thing stops working, then what are you gonna do?
All you do is have lighters on you 24/7.
But not long lighters.
You don't need a long lighter. If you're really that concerned, just like you are about getting gasoline on your dainty pants, just take a piece of fucking paper towel, light it on fire, and stick it in the fucking hole with the gas on.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
No, because you're a big pussy.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Every argument you've made today makes it sound like you're a gigantic pussy. I can't pump my own gas. I can't start a barbecue. I can't go outside because it's too hot.
It is too hot.
I'm triggered by online advertised articles directed at me because it's the only thing I click on.
Well, I don't want... I was like, I got getting those sous vide articles tweeted at me.
Yeah, because you kept talking about sous vide. So
well, because they kept tweeting them at me.
No, they didn't. You started talking about it. Then you started clicking on articles to see what it was. Then it just seemed like you were really big into the sous vide lifestyle. I love my sous vide. It never comes up on my feed.
It's the worst. Okay. So, things, definitive list. If you were going to barbecue, and of course, when I say barbecue, I don't mean like Texas-style smoking barbecue. I mean like on a grill. Perhaps it might be better called grilling than barbecuing. But anyway, definitive list. Number one is hot dogs. It is the best thing. It is the preternatural number one thing you can barbecue is a hot dog.
Wait, do you say hot dogs? Like not sausages, hot dogs.
Regular old hot dogs.
Okay,
yes.
hot dogs are in DFL. Just as a food in general. When you
hot
can
dogs
have
are delicious when they're done right.
Tim is the type of person that for lunch, instead of just cooking something for lunch or even grilling these hot dogs, he would just take the hot dogs out of the package in the fridge and eat them raw.
Oh, that's revolting.
I've done that.
That is revolting.
Hot dogs are so low. It's incredible.
But I prefer my barbecue hot dogs a little overdone. I like them a little bit extra
Would
cooked.
you ever eat a hot dog over like a sausage?
Maybe.
Really? Like the thin, garbage hot dog?
I don't know.
Over a nice sausage?
I like them both. I like the convenience of how easy they are to barbecue and how quickly I can do it.
He's also saying a barbecued hot dog is better than a barbecued steak, barbecued ribs, barbecued chicken.
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah, barbecued ribs and steak we're going to talk about later. I have real problems with those. Next thing is salmon. Salmon is number two. Salmon is amazing on the barbecue. It's one of the very few fish that is best done on the barbecue, in my opinion. It's a great alternative to something heavier or to red meat or to spice up a barbecue. You have salmon, no one will complain. That stuff is great. Third is chicken thighs. Best part of the chicken.
Wait, chicken thighs on the barbecue? So just better than overall chicken?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I find a chicken breast barbecue is better. You can get a more even cook on it.
I have never barbecued a chicken breast because
you can't barbecue. Because you don't know how to start a barbecue.
That doesn't mean I don't know how to barbecue. Once someone lights it for me, I'm good to go.
But you've already just said you barbecue everything on max heat.
I like it higher because the higher the temperature, the more it locks in the flavor. Yeah, that's science. Chicken breast I don't really like. That's the thing. They're not as flavorful and they're not as tasty as a thigh is, and it's because of the white meat versus dark meat component. Chicken thighs you can either turn them into burgers, or you can eat them on their own, or you can chop them up into pieces and put them into a kebab if you'd like. Like, there's a lot of things you can do with chicken thighs. So,
I have a question for your top 3. So salmon on this list seems really strange because hot dogs and like chicken thighs, it sounds like you do the majority of your shopping for your barbecuing with food stamps.
You're onto something.
No,
listen, all you can eat
barbecuing
buffets
is an everyman experience.
Low behavior right here. Like whatever is the lowest bottom of the barrel thing you like the most. You just need to experience something else. It doesn't even need to be high-end fancy things. Just a step above where you're at, man. It'll change your life.
Salmon on the list.
I'm shocked at that. I'm surprised you don't have like cod.
I like cod too, but it's not as good as salmon. Let's be honest.
Cod eats garbage. That's what it feasts on.
So does lobster.
Yeah, and lobster's gross.
Lobster is fantastic.
No, it's not.
Again,
Lobster's
why I'm a
gross.
super taster and you're not.
You're a super taster with your fucking hot dogs and your chicken thighs?
Listen, barbecuing is the everyman experience. It's not a fancy.
Well, it's not for every man because you can't fucking start one.
That's incredible. That rules. That rules.
I get nervous with the gas, okay? And I don't even want to start with the briquettes.
Oh, please tell us.
The briquettes, I can't figure them out. Like, I guess you're supposed to like light them all on fire, but I'm afraid I'm gonna like torch the whole thing. And so no, I never use the briquettes either. Although I'll say I think
man of the people.
Man of the people. He knows how to do things.
Listen,
can't pump his gas, can't start a barbecue.
Like, I get it. Like, you know, and I don't claim to be no man of the people. But, you know, I certainly, if I did, you know, maybe I could keep my shtick if I couldn't, like, change a tire. You know, I could still maybe claim I'm man of the people. But if I can't start a barbecue, I'm disqualified from man of the people.
No, I don't have a problem with it, and I don't have a problem saying it.
You also just said you don't have a problem with eating hot dogs raw.
No, I used to do that. I don't do that anymore.
But what
it's
if
just easy.
What if you
come home after a day at work or whatever, you're tired.
Oh.
Hot dogs. You're like, you know what?
Just eat a sleeve of Oreos
with orange juice.
It's done.
I'm just saying, you don't need to eat a.
Doesn't that give you worms?
I could just picture like that sweaty hot dog out of the fridge with that moisture on it, and sorry, that doesn't do it. That is so.
That's rough, man.
Yeah, that's
real rough stuff.
I don't know if we can top that.
You need to get a life coach.
I have a life coach. It's myself.
He would argue should like the life coach for others.
Could you imagine? I don't know what life coaches actually do or don't do. It sounds really strange to me, but imagine if Tim was a life coach and you had to get your life in order and Tim was your life coach. He was telling you this nonsense?
Refund.
Yeah, but he wouldn't give it because refunds are of the people. Yeah, refunds are not of the people. I don't know, Tim. I don't know if I want to hear the rest of your barbecue rankings.
Hamburgers.
Who cares?
Get around with a hamburger. Then pork chops. Then there's a gap. Then sausages. Then chicken breasts. Then ribs. I wanted to put ribs last because ribs on the barbecue are not good. Ribs are better smoked.
No, yes, ribs. I mean, it depends on how you barbecue them. There's a very good
someone who knows how to barbecue I think can make great ribs. Tim, probably couldn't make ribs.
He just turns it on max and chucks them on, squirts some barbecue sauce on them,
and then wonders why they didn't taste right.
I actually shout out to the owner of Sports Grid now. He used to run Fantasy Roto Experts, Lou Mayo, and I went to his place one time, made everyone barbecued them ribs there. Got some tinfoil, got some apple juice, some spices on the go. It took me like 3 hours to cook them, but they were top notch.
Yeah,
ribs.
Exactly. I don't think Tim is like the night before, like basting the ribs and letting them, marinate in whatever you want. He's just ripping them out of the cellophane
we were talking about
from the grocery store.
Okay.
What were you talking about, Tim? You were talking about the pre-cooked
those ribs you buy at the store that are already made.
Done. We gotta go home.
That is the end. That is the end of Cust Corner today.
We're talking about barbecuing ribs.
You barbecue those. I didn't think you could even. I mean, like the raw ribs. Don't those need to marinate and be smoked?
They don't need to be smoked. You can barbecue them.
They just got to be done
Yeah.
They
properly.
just have to
and
be,
it's
they have to be
like,
barbecued properly.
yeah.
So, AKA, not by you.
There's like a way.
same
There's
reason
a
I don't have
there's a
steak.
way to do it. Both
Whoa,
in-
well, okay, what's the same reason you don't have a steak on this
I
list?
have a steak DFL because I don't like it done on the grill. I prefer it done. I prefer it fried or the way you do it at a steakhouse, which is not on a barbecue.
You would prefer a steak fried in a frying pan over it being cooked on the barbecue. And we're talking about
Yeah,
you
I find
cooking
it's
the steak.
easier- Yeah, I find it's easier for me to control the heat when I'm doing it on the stove. The barbecue gets too hot too quickly, and I get all confused. And next thing you know, the steak is overcooked, and I've ruined it.
How
He's,
often does stuff catch on fire on your grill, Tim?
Not too often because I don't barbecue myself.
This is a man.
I don't barbecue. Okay, A, I don't barbecue myself all that often. B, I can't start a barbecue. Chicken breast is on my best barbecue ranking list, despite the fact that I just admitted I've never had chicken breast on a barbecue before.
Barbecuing-
And I'm barbecuing pre-cooked ribs instead of real
And barbecuing a steak, for one, confuses him. Like, there's other things going on. You know, he's marinating vegetable. Like, there's like so many other dishes being prepared that the steak, for one, on the barbecue gets confusing.
I like
we
corn.
got.
I
go.
like corn barbecued, by the way.
I mean, like, he is so. I like him though.
All right.
I like him.
It was a good one.
Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, hee 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 hee.